Okay, welcome to the very last group meeting book club for Untamed. We have really great questions as always. So I'm gonna start off. I have beautiful Alex with me, yay, who's my friend. Okay, here we go. Glennon describes unlearning what she used to believe about control and love. How and why do you think we often confuse control and love? Can you think of times you have tried to control people or times you have felt others try to control you? In any of those situations, has that control been perceived as love? Why or why not? I definitely feel like this within myself. I feel like love is unconditional. Sorry, you're frozen. Are you still okay? Yeah, so love is unconditional and control is very conditional. You either feel like things are under control if it goes a certain way, or things are not under control if it's not a certain way. And often when things are not under our control, that's when we feel chaos or, depressed, overwhelmed, anxious, all of that. And all of those negative vibes are not in line with love. I feel like love would say, I don't really care if you're in control. I don't really care if you're not in control. I don't really care what happens, because the bottom line is whatever happens, whatever you choose to do, whatever happens to you, I'm going to love it. I'm going to love you. And that's that. That is universal truth. And I think that is so powerful because then outside circumstances have no control over love. Outside circumstances have no power over love. Like love is so powerful that she can't give, like she's not going to give up her power for the sake of, fate or whatever happens, right? And love is certain. Love is very reassuring. So in my life, I feel like I can't love myself when things are out of control. I struggle with controlling my workaholism, controlling my food, controlling my exercise, controlling my performance, controlling my moods, controlling my spiritual practice. Like that's why I stopped meditation for a while, because I was starting to get so rigid and anxious with it that it was not bringing me joy anymore. And I know that love would say, I want you to do this because you love it. I don't want you to do it because you feel like you need to check off another thing on your to-do list. And self-care is more than just checking things off the box. It's actually enjoying it. So that's something I've been learning, and that's something I've been teetering. I think this also comes from my past programming from my parents, where they've always wanted me to control myself in front of others so that we don't lose face. They don't want me to stand out. That's very common in Asian culture. You don't want to be different. So control yourself, otherwise we will disapprove of you. And that was very hard, especially for a growing kid. And everybody deserves a motherly and fatherly figure that loves them unconditionally. Unconditionally. No matter what you do, everybody needs that kind of energy. Not every parent is able to do that. But everybody needs that sort of nurturing, deserves that sort of nurturing. So that was past conditioning from my parents, and then I brought it on myself, and I'm still navigating that to today. How about you, Alex? Control
I
is
know it's such a interesting question. Yeah, I think that's like been my whole life, control and love, because I'm the
I
opposite
love
in
to
terms
control.
of
How about that?
yeah, yeah, like I love controlling very much. And for me it's interesting that what I think it's that for me what I learned is that the word control was originally organization, right? It's being structured, it's being prepared, being planned. And to me, earlier on, like that, oh my gosh, that was loving, like if you want to take care of yourself, you should be structured. So like time management, you should be able to um have self-control, you should be able to kind of understand your circumstance. I think that in my mind was like a great thing to have. But then if you started projecting that on other people, where I was like, well, I think it'd be great for you if you were also this way so that you could experience this like organization and how it frees up your time. And also for me, I definitely misconstrued control with loving in order to protect people. Like that was where I saw the control aspect in my life. Was I didn't, again, it's so interesting because the word control didn't even come into the picture probably until like 2 years ago, really. Like, because in my mind it was, again, time management, organization, but it was also protection and taking care of, and guiding. Like those were the ways I worded it and saw it. So in my mind, I was like, why wouldn't you want to listen to my advice? For me, it was mostly with my younger brother and with my closer friends. But in terms of just like giving them advice, even when it's unsolicited advice, they'd share something with me and I'm like, okay, here's what you can do, and like trying to fix it and kind of box it in. Or if I saw them going off in any way, like other than my own idea of morality, I guess, I'd be very much like, no, 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 come back. Like, what are you doing? Like, this is how you should come back to this straight and narrow, and I do understand like there's a right and wrong, but I had to learn like what is loving. Like what you were saying is letting them go and find that. And I think that what I had to understand is like I control from what's the underlying layer is actually fear. It's like fear of failure, fear messing up, fear of things falling apart, and then it's too late. And then for the people in my life, it projects into what if they go like rock bottom, and I was witnessing it the whole time. Like I could have stopped it, I could have helped them, but I didn't. That's what the control claws get tighter and tighter when I have more and more fear. But I had to learn like love, like you said, everything really. Like for me and my faith, like I started just reading about love. Like what is love? Love is patient, love is kind. Read the Bible at all. Or anyone that's listening, like 1 Corinthians 13 talks about love is trusting, love is always hoping, love is protecting. But all those things beforehand, like it doesn't keep a record of wrongs. It doesn't hold grudges against people. Like it's not this clenching thing, it's this freeing
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Love isn't
You
a
know?
clenching thing, and control's a clenching thing.
Control's a
Um,
clenching. It's like a
yeah, it
I
is.
must take and move.
Yeah,
Whereas
it's like those claws, those
in the video
that
games,
you never
no, in
win, that
the
I feel like is
arcades.
rigged.
But
The way
that's
old
even a
lady.
good analogy. It's rigged. You
Yeah,
think
it is
you're
great.
wired this way to think that by controlling it's working, but what it's really doing is binding people, restricting them, but also it's distancing you, because I learned that when you control, you're not allowing that person to be their full self. And
Mhm.
even with me, I'm not allowing myself to make mistakes. I'm not allowing myself to explore my extremes. Again, I have my own version of what extremes is and where I don't want to go, but I have to be okay with other people have their own versions. I can't tell them enough that make a mistake if they do go wherever, whatever, and they want to come and talk about it or get advice or just like vent, they'll feel safe to come to someone like me in their life, because they saw that I was loving to them, not that like strict boxing. And again, back to me and my brother, that definitely changed the trajectory of our relationship so
So
much,
good. Oh
because
my God,
I
it's
was
so
literally becoming like the
amazing.
helicopter mom in his life.
That's so amazing that when you were able to let go of control and allow love in, he wanted to open up to you more. And that just,
Yeah, and it's
yeah,
crazy
that
because
bonded
like
you
he
more.
that allowed me, it bonded us, and it actually allowed. It's so funny. Like I was thinking by controlling, that was how I'll be able to have a greater influence in his life. But it's the opposite. Like by loving him for where he's at and who he is, like that allowed him to trust me, to come share with me, and then I could actually have an influence in his life. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, that's easier. It's also what
I
is making
know.
easier. Controlling is exhausting,
Oh
by
my
the
God.
way, for
Isn't
me
it?
and for other people. Controlling yourself is exhausting. I think I think it's a difference again, right? Like I believe in self-control. I believe it's a great value to have, but it doesn't mean that it's coming from a place of fear. I think that's we have to really analyze like what is the
Mm,
intention
self-control
behind
coming
it.
from a place of love instead of self-control from coming from a place of fear.
Yeah. Huge
Bold.
difference. And then
If you
you
think
are
about it,
emboldened with that.
yeah. Yeah. You're so right. Oh my
Yeah.
god. I love this. Ah!
That
Yes.
topic is my whole life in motion. So
Yeah, I
great
think
question.
I know I'm constantly navigating it, so you're not the only
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. I think it's up and down.
Okay, the next one says Glennon writes that the truth of her 30s was stay on your mat, Glennon. The staying is making you. And this she said this on her in a yoga class, basically. She wanted to get out of the yoga class. I think this is what was happening. She wanted to get out of the yoga class, but then something in her was stay on your mat, Glennon. The staying is making you. And that the truth of her 40s is I'm made. What did she learn in that decade? Can you look at different periods of your own life and identify phases of growth? How did they change you? And do you feel made? Why or why not? Oh, this is a very unclear question to me. The staying is making you. And then in her 40s is I'm made. The staying is making you. I'm made.
I think I understand more the staying is making you, and I don't think I'm at the point of saying I'm made. Honestly, personally, I don't feel like I'm gonna ever get to a point where I'm fully made. I think that's
No,
the
I
beauty of
don't think
life.
so. Yeah,
But
because
the
we're constantly
staying,
learning.
we're constantly learning. But I agree with the staying is making you, as in this, like instead of trying to do so much to become this thing, it's just honestly like just being still. I think it's going back to the idea of stillness. And
Mm.
I relate to that because again, in my type A personality, I'm very much like I need to hit these benchmarks, I need to set these goals and achieve them. I need to be doing this to earn love or to earn appreciation or to validate. It's kind of like I'm all over the place. Oh
Mm.
wait, I don't know if you're frozen. Okay, sorry. I'm like all over the place and I haven't really given time for anything to marinate, like to just
Mhm.
settle and like grow. So
Mhm.
I think in that stillness, just staying on your mat, like just stay in one place and listen. Like, what are you actually feeling? What are you actually thinking? What are the actual needs? Instead of chasing so many things that you think you need, that you think you want, you think you have to look like or do. But in your present state, like a lot of my best growth and just checking in with myself.
Whoops, are you still there? You
It
still there?
froze. Yeah,
Okay.
your face froze. I don't know if you heard the ending, but I mean,
Okay.
I could hear you. You just it froze.
Okay.
Your visual.
We're back. We're back at least. Are you still there? You're muted? Okay.
Yeah, I was just on mute.
Okay, all right. Yeah, did you want to finish what you were going to say? Are you frozen now? Shares a story. Hello, hello. You still there? Hello, hello. Alex? I see you, but you're not moving. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello.
Hello?
Okay,
Hello?
yay, we're back. I think my
Yeah, I think it's gonna be
is
like this in and out.
okay. Let's hope this lasts for at least the last question.
Okay, go ahead. Keep speaking though. I can hear when you speak, I think.
Okay, cool. So the next question goes Glennon says that heartbreak is magic and that the thing that breaks your heart is the very thing you were born to heal. What breaks your heart? What does that heartbreak reveal to you about meaningful work, activism, or opportunities for volunteering? Okay.
I think we asked this question before.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I asked. Yeah, I asked this question before. I was like, this sounds a
Yeah,
little bit familiar, but I'm not too sure. Do,
we
do, do,
did. It
do.
was a good question. That's why I remember it because it was a good question.
Okay,
But if
okay.
that's the last one, we could still answer it if you
Yeah,
want.
let's do
Like
it
it's
again. Let's do it
probably in a
again.
different place. Yeah.
So I feel like heartbreak is really there's a saying that goes, um, in the dark, that's where the light can enter. So if you feel like you're in rock bottom, you can only go up from there. And if you feel like you're lost in the dark, that's great because then the tiniest speck of light will just seem that much brighter to you. So I feel like when there's opportunity for growth, they say new level, new devil. And I firmly believe that because at every new level where you think that you've overcome another mountain, there's always a new mountain. That's not necessarily a bad thing. That means there's always an opportunity for you to grow. And if there's no mountain for you to climb, then I mean, do you have a destination? You just kind of been like circling around life, not really going anywhere. So I feel like mountains are great, but we just make it worse by not enjoying the journey and just like making it making it more sufferable for ourselves by dwelling on the negative. So with every mountain, I think it's an opportunity for growth. And when we're broken, that's when we're able to piece ourselves back together, but in a new magical way, I want to say. For example, the very things that I have gone through in my past with like addiction and loneliness is the very reason why I know it is my calling to connect with other women and empower them, make them feel good about themselves, make them feel connected to themselves, to other women, and also to the spirit above. Um, it's why I want to inspire others to live a bigger, more beautiful life. So me having overcome those hardships has led me to become more empathetic, has led me to want to volunteer more, has led me to want to spread the joy of yoga more, to coach more, to dream and be a motivational speaker more. And if you asked me like when I was in elementary school, do I want to be a motivational speaker? I would have said no, but that's only because I didn't go through the importance of feeling why and the transformative effect it has on somebody's life now. So that's why heartbreak is so important. And it's still hard to go through heartbreak. Al-
Yeah. 100%.
Always.
100%. Okay, audio's working well, so I got to hear that whole story. And I've seen that in you for sure. We've known each other since high school.
Oh,
So I think I definitely have been able to witness. I'm grateful for that to see like in action what you're sharing because you've definitely picked together all those hardships and like not let it keep you down, but like transformed it into something, which is really, really powerful. I think it's empowering, like to not let the situation hold you down. I think what that is in general, like to that question, like it's the idea of taking the heartbreak and like seeing the lesson behind it and then living out that, like not sitting in the pain, but like just kind of allowing that pain to teach you, and then you can use
Mm,
it, which
mhm.
is so cool because then you're no longer the victim, like
No,
you are the I don't know what it is. What's opposite the victim? The conqueror, I
a
guess.
hero.
The hero, yeah. And then you're able to, that's the big thing, like you mentioned, like speak to other
I was
people.
gonna say bully. You're the bully.
No, I know I was a bully. You're the bully. You're the good thing. Like, because now you can, in like your higher state, can go share with other people who may still be in the victim space, right? Who may still be feeling very under the situation, like stuck in the heartbreak and they can't see their way out. So yeah, a lot of things I'm passionate about, it's either that I've gone through it myself or I understand the underlying feelings. And that's one thing I'm coming to learn with, like just empathy. It's not like you necessarily have to have gone through the exact situation, but
Mm,
you are looking at, well, what are they feeling? What are they saying? Like, what are they going through mentally? And I feel like on a human level, we can all connect to that. It doesn't matter if it's like a loss of a family member or the loss of a job, a loss of a friendship. The idea of loss is something we can all
mm,
unite with and talk about there. So I've come to really learn from my experiences, whether it be with my family, whether it be with like my own struggles, like I have a stutter and like I understand what it's like to really be I understand what it's like to not be heard and to really be
mm,
judged by how you speak. So I'm very passionate about those who, I couple that with being an immigrant, like coming and seeing my family establish themselves and adjust themselves to the language and the life here. I'm very adamant and intentional about my interactions with our immigrant population in Toronto because I see the effort, the work, the hardships that they need to get here, to establish themselves here, plus the language layer. Like there's so much more patience and accommodation and understanding needed. And I think that my life experience has allowed me to be very passionate about integrating myself into that as a workspace. But volunteering wise, even just in terms of at school, like helping with international student societies, just being able to navigate with them as someone who's been here for years, but I still understand like those feelings that come with that. Um, yeah, I think something with like physical health. I've been through many injuries as an athlete and as someone who uses my body a lot. So I'm very passionate about health. I'm very passionate about encouraging people mentally, right? Now, not just, oh, go fix your ankle or go to physio, but let's talk about like how is it affecting you with your sport or with your day-to-day life or with your body image? Because you're going to lose weight
mhm.
when you're injured, or just being kind to your body when you can't function to your full anymore, to just not talk down upon yourself, or how do you speak better to yourself, like that stuff I am really passionate about because I still remember that year, like it broke me for a year, but I was like, I think it was meant to happen so that I can always remember that feeling and be very adamant not about not allowing other people, not allowing, sorry, about just really just being there for people when they're experiencing
Mhm.
it so they can
And
have a
I
sounding.
see that in you. I see the way that you're so like encouraging and you're participatory, you're supportive. You're like a really, really good friend. And I
Oh,
don't say that lightly. Like you are like a really, really supportive friend. And I feel like the heartbreaks that you've went through is the very thing that you were meant to heal in other people. And that's why I see that you put so much heart behind what you do with other people. And I remember that year where you were injured and you were so strong, Alex. You were
tried.
so strong. You were, yeah, I know. Like you were trying, and I know that you were trying, but that takes so much courage to still see friends despite having your crutches, to not be able to, play volleyball anymore because I knew that was a huge part of your life. You even switched schools for that.
Yeah.
That's not a small thing. And then you were still like smiling, and that takes a lot of courage. And maybe you were still hurting underneath it all, but but you showed up And that takes a lot of courage.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So yeah, see, we've been with each other through the highs and lows.
I know.
Crazy. That's sick.
We the real friends.
We're the real ones. That's why we're here tonight,
Ah,
wrapping it up. Just gonna
yeah.
wrap it up. I like that. The originals.
Yeah. All right. I think that ends our last book club
Oh, good. I'm
meeting.
glad I could be here for it. Thank
I
you for just bringing these great questions and resources to the front, even with Audible. For me, I never even touched Audible before you told me about
Yeah.
it. And this book, and like, yeah,
This
it's a
is
great thing to
amazing.
recommend to other people.
So next meeting, we're just gonna have a casual, let's have a virtual coffee chat with each other, get together, get to know each other and why we want to, you know, personally develop and what it means to us. And hopefully we'll have a lot more people join us.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. I'm gonna stop recording. Wait, where's the stop? Oh, there it is. Bye.